Outside a Korean rural town, married couple Jae-gu and Sun Young run a roadside garage, but sadly, they don't have many customers. In fact, most drivers don't even notice their small shop. This means they're barely making ends meet, and this makes Sun Young's relationship with her family even tenser. They never approved of Jae-gu due to his low status and infertility, and now that Sun Young has to help the household by making dolls for pennies only makes them hate him more. To make matters worse, a major construction company is working nearby, meaning they take over the roads with their trucks and block the garage from potential customers. One morning, a frustrated Jae-gu heads to the construction site to try to ask the manager and his wife Yi-ri for compensation, but after accidentally bumping into their child, he's seen as insane and taken away by security. Jae-gu ends up in the police station, where they are used to seeing him for all the scenes he causes, and an officer reminds Jae-gu this is what he gets for not joining the local shop association, since their members did get compensation. Another cop tells him of some rumors regarding his father-in-law. He owns the shop Jae-gu rents, and the old man is thinking of selling. On his way home, Jae-gu sees a man with a broken-down truck and learns he's about to scrap it, so he points out that's not needed yet. Just by changing the valve it can run for a few more years. When Jae-gu arrives home, he asks Sun Young if the rumors are true, and she admits her dad has been upset because they haven't been paying taxes. Jae-gu gets angry that she kept this from him, and before the argument can escalate, he leaves to clear his head. The idea is to get some beer and cigarettes at the local grocery store, but he can't afford both, so he ends up only buying cigarettes, switching to the cheapest brand too. However, the old lady in charge remembers Jae-gu from the time he helped her granddaughter, and as thanks, she gifts him a beer can. While enjoying his beer and cigarettes outside the store, Jae-gu is approached by shop association head Mr. Mun and his men, who beat Jae-gu up for the advice he gave the man with the truck. Turns out Mr. Mun had almost gotten his hands on that scrap metal for cheap, and Jae-gu got in the way of his business. Later, when Mr. Mun tells his friends what happened over dinner, the group starts gossiping about Sun Young's poor marriage choice, and Mr. Mun leaves in a huff because he still has feelings for her. A few days later, Sun Young goes to a family gathering alone and is instantly attacked by her relatives for her life choices. Jae-gu shows up too, having borrowed nice clothes and even saved for a cake to impress everyone, but when he arrives and hears them insulting him, he decides to leave unnoticed. On his way home, he accidentally drops the cake, and he's so upset by the whole situation that he kicks it in anger instead of picking it up for dinner. At that moment, Jae-gu notices a car stopped in the middle of the road with a flat tire, so of course, he offers to fix it while explaining the construction trucks nearby drop all kinds of scraps. Since it's late at night, and they're in the middle of nowhere, Jae-gu takes the chance to charge extra, knowing the client has no choice. Afterward, he goes back to the road to look for anything else left by the trucks, just in time to see Sun Young arrive in a relative's car. The driver doesn't even greet Jae-gu, and when he complains, it starts an argument with Sun Young, who is tired of being caught between her family and her husband. To calm her down, Jae-gu shows her the money he made tonight. When they go to bed, Jae-gu can't sleep because he's still bothered by today's events, so he decides it's time to take action and returns to the road to scatter a bunch of scraps. The plan pays off, and the next morning, they have a new client with a flat tire, but this time Jae-gu charges a more reasonable price. Hours pass and Jae-gu worries because only one more client came by, so he checks on the scraps and finds them all gone. It turns out the construction trucks have been pushing the scraps aside when they drive by, and because of their size and tire thickness, they didn't get flat. Not ready to give up, Jae-gu stays up late making new, pointier scraps that he scatters on the road again, and this time, he's caught by Sun Young, who disapproves. These scraps could cause an accident or get Jae-gu arrested, but he changes her mind when he points out all the people that drive through this road are rich tourists who always get out of trouble with bribes, meaning there's nothing wrong with scamming them. As a final touch, Jae-gu also mentions wanting to save money to buy the shop from his father-in-law. Sun Young's initial doubts slowly fade as days pass, and she sees the money this idea brings in, finally allowing them to buy better food. One morning, Yi-ri's car is the latest flat tire victim, and while Jae-gu works, Sun Young offers her a drink and chat to keep her happy and paying. However, Yi-ri is incredibly snobby towards them because of their social status, and when she hears Sun Young only makes a nickel for every $10, she buys one for $10 out of pity. Feeling insulted at being treated like a charity case, Sun Young finally helps Jae-gu argue why he needs to charge Yi-ri so much for a tire change. From then on, she's more supportive of her husband's plan, bringing him drinks while he crafts scraps and even admitting she'd love to dress like Yi-ri. Late at night, Sun Young begins going with Jae-gu to hold the flashlight while he drops the scraps and offers ideas to improve the plan, like putting nails in the ground instead of replacing the scraps nightly. One evening, A police officer finds them on the road and wonders what they're doing at this hour, but they quickly get him to leave by pointing out he's using the police car for personal matters, judging by his lack of uniform and the girl with him. The next morning, the couple has no clients because they're hiding for a few days after their police encounter. But since Sun Young got paid for the dolls, they decide to treat themselves. Jae-gu goes to the store for beer and to pay his debt, taking the chance to give the kid a scooter ride to celebrate. And Sun Young gets her hair done for the first time in years. The fact the couple is doing better financially soon reaches Mr. Mun, who gets suspicious. At night, Jae-gu and Sun Young return to the road with a drill and stick their first nail in the pavement. The new plan works, and soon Jae-gu tells Sun Young she can buy any dresses she wants, but he won't be spending much because he wants to focus on buying the shop. Meanwhile, Yi-ri discovers her kid has been kidnapped. When the police ask if she has any enemies, she sees the doll she bought from Sun Young and accuses the couple of being scammers. The police chief doesn't think they have enough to arrest the couple, but things change when one officer shares that he saw them acting oddly on the road the other night. Within hours, cops find Jae-gu and arrest him, but not Sun Young, since they heard about him causing a scene at the construction site and bumping into the child, making him the prime suspect. While Jae-gu is questioned at the station, the police search the shop, and Sun Young's dad has to be there as the owner. Instead of helping his daughter, he keeps insulting Jae-gu and telling Sun Young that she deserves this. At the end of the day, there's no evidence, and Jae-gu is released without charges. The police chief drives him home as an apology, but while initially understanding, he soon tells Jae-gu to stand up for himself and to stop causing trouble. The following morning, Jae-gu gets his tools ready to go back to the road since they lost money while he was away. Sun Young worries about her husband and the risk of being caught, but she can't convince him to take a break. Meanwhile, Mr. Mun is still convinced Jae-gu is hiding something, and since the police can't do anything without proof, he agrees with his cop brother to take turns watching the couple. The next time Sun Young goes to put a nail in the road, Mr. Mun sees her and finds the nail, so now he has to think of a way to use this to his advantage. Now that the nails are out again, business picks up once more, and the couple can afford to eat out, so they treat themselves. One afternoon, an elderly couple gets a flat tire on their way to the hospital and asks Jae-gu for a discount, but he still charges full price. That same day, Sun Young goes to the grocery store and is approached by Mr. Mun, who reveals he knows about the nails and asks her to meet him if she wants him to keep quiet. When night falls, neither of them can sleep. Jae-gu feels guilty about charging the elderly couple because it makes him think of his own dead parents, and Sun Young worries about what Mr. Mun may do. Pretending to ask a casual question, Sun Young wonders what they should do if someone found out about their scam, and Jae-gu replies he would quit before that person went to the police. The following day, Sun Young thinks about how much this plan has improved their lives and makes the toughest decision of her life. She goes to see Mr. Mun and agrees to sleep with him to keep him quiet. Afterward, Mr. Mun tells his brother to drop the watch on the garage couple. Paying for Mr. Mun's blackmail leaves Sun Young feeling disgusted, so when old friends invite her to go shopping, she accepts to distract herself. By the time she returns home, it's incredibly late, but she looks like a whole new person with her new haircut and many cute dresses. Jae-gu complains about the lack of a home-cooked dinner, but Sun Young ignores him and takes a shower using a harsh solvent because no amount of money could make her feel clean again. It isn't until Jae-gu goes to sleep that Sun Young allows herself to break down and cry. A few days later, a car crashes in the rice field near the garage. Knowing cops will be there soon, Jae-gu rushes to remove the nails and notices a man coming out of the car. As soon as this man sees he's not alone, he runs away as if guilty, so Jae-gu checks the car and discovers the kidnapped child. In just a couple of hours, reporters rush to the shop to interview Jae-gu, who is seen as a hero now, and even the governor comes by to praise him. Sun Young's father shows up too, suddenly pretending to have always loved his son-in-law just to befriend the governor. The child's rescue earns Jae-gu a large cash reward that he uses to finally buy the shop, although Sun Young refuses at first because her dad is overcharging them on purpose. Jae-gu is aware of this and buys it anyway because he enjoys being petty toward his father-in-law while they sign the papers, shaming him in front of the whole family for scamming his own daughter. The couple also buys a nice car, but their spending doesn't end there. Now that the town sees them as heroes, they put nails on the road again, and their business continues to thrive. They get an electric sign for the shop, fancy clothes, and even visit expensive restaurants, where they discuss the possibility of one day moving to the big city. This also means Jae-gu is stealing most of the car repair business from Mr. Mun, causing him to call Sun Young for more blackmail, but she ignores his calls. From then on, a strange car begins following Jae-gu again. One afternoon, Jae-gu is enjoying a beer at his usual spot when he hears some noise and follows a cop to the hospital, where he learns his nails have caused an accident and a driver is hurt. While Jae-gu tries to deal with his guilt outside the hospital, Mr. Mun finds him and tells him to go away before he tells everyone that this is Jae-gu's fault. Scared, Jae-gu gets in his car to go home and cries when he remembers Sun Young's question, realizing she's always known about Mr. Mun. Meanwhile, Sun Young is adding more nails to the road, causing Jae-gu to finally snap and drag her home, where he tries to find the money she's been saving to burn it. Crying, Sun Young tries to stop him and has no choice but to confess what she had to do to keep Mr. Mun quiet. Since it's already done, Sun Young would rather enjoy the money instead of letting her sacrifice be for nothing. Overwhelmed with guilt and pain, Jae-gu rushes to the road to remove the nails, but they're stuck tight and there are far too many. The next morning, while Sun Young keeps enjoying her new dresses and makeup, Jae-gu borrows a truck to drive it down the road, hoping its weight will bend the nails once and for all.